Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. And today the project I have for you is this lovely thank you card. The background here, I have used the beautiful Friendship stamp set, which is beautiful. And I don't know if you can tell on there, but it's beautiful watercolor images. So you get all these sort of shaded images just with one stamp. You don't have to go back in and do double stamping or anything, two-step stamping. It's really beautiful. I missed it the first time I looked through the catalogue and then picked up on it, and I've seen some beautiful samples. I also like all the sentiments, they're really nice. I love the fonts that they've used. Really lovely set. And so we're going to make this today. This was my customer, this was a thank you card that I sent out for some of my customers for their shopping in September. I had two different cards that I sent out, and also when people took part in my paper share, they got one of these cards to say thank you. So I'm just going to show you how I made it. So we're starting with a card blank of grey granite. That's the idea, and I'm doing this one as a portrait fold rather than I normally do them. I've got one here that I did the other way around. This one I normally do my card, no, not that one. Normally do my cards this way round, but just for a change I thought I'd do some this way round. So what I did was took a sheet of A4 card and sliced it down at 10.5 centimeters, which is the middle. If you're in inches, it's 4.5, 8. So this part measures 4.5 inches, 4.1/8 inches, sorry, or 10.5 centimeters. And then you score in the middle to fold it over, and that's about 14.8 centimeters. So along here you needed to score at 14.8 centimeters, or about 5 3/4. May find that your edges aren't quite flush, so you may just need to trim a little bit off there. I then came in with the panel of basic black, and the basic black panel is either 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 inch smaller than the card blank. So in centimeters it's 10 by 14.3, and in inches it's 3 7/8 by 5.5. And then the panel that I'm going to be stamping on is actually slightly smaller again. It's just there's a 1.5 millimeter border all the way around, so you need to do it 3 millimeters smaller. So it's 9.7 centimeters across and 14 going down, and then 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. Yeah, okay, I'll put them all on my blog when I do the post. Right, so to get started, we're going to start with 30 Flamingo. And I've got the big, I think they're roses, although I did hear someone saying they look like peonies. They kind of look a bit more like roses. They are a bit peony-like as well. Not sure what they are. But I've mounted it on a eye block because it's quite a big stamp and it wouldn't quite fit on any of the smaller blocks, so I've mounted it on here. So I'm going to take my stamp, tap it into my stamp pad, my Flirty Flamingo, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go diagonally across the center of my card and stamp there, and you'll see what a beautiful image you get. Can you see all those different shades just with that one stamp? Beautiful. And I'm then going to go back, and I have to acknowledge while I'm doing this that actually this card was completely cased from Brian King, who is a US Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I saw it on his blog and I loved it. And when I was trying to think about what thank you cards I would do, I didn't have time to think of anything myself, so I completely cased it. So I hope that's all right, Brian. I'm giving you a big shout out, and I'll give you a link to your blog on my blog post when I do it. I always think that as demos, you know, we put stuff out there to be copied, so I don't think, as long as you get an acknowledgement, you're usually fine about it. Right, and then I'm going to come in with this little stamp. I don't know, sort of lilac, is it? I've done it in Highland Heather because it reminds me of lilac. That's also the colour that I've used exactly the same colours as Brian used as well. But I do love this stamp set, and I'm going to use it a lot more. Right, so stamping with Highland Heather, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to do one up here. I'm going to do one going off the edge here. Ruined my grid paper. Have to get rid of it if I get any stamping on it. there, which is bizarre because that's what it's there for. But I like it to be clean when I start stamping. And then just one out here. So there's all our heather. And then we've just got to do the leaves. And for the leaves, I did actually stamp off because I'm using Granny Apple Green. But it's a bit dark. On this one, I didn't stamp off. And it's quite in your face, that colour. So on this one, I stamped off, and I like that paler colour better. So I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper so that I can stamp off as I stamp. So I'm using the 3-leafed stamp. There's a 2-leaf stamp which we're going to use in the centre in a minute. So getting my Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to tap, stamp, and then stamp. And it's a really nice pale colour, you can see. So stamp, stamp, print. Stamp, stamp, print. Stamp, stamp, stamp. There we go. Maybe one more around here. Do we need any more than that? I think that's enough. There we go. And that's our panel stamped, completely stamped. And while I've got my green ink out, I'm going to open my pink ink as well. And I've just realised I've forgotten to mount up one of the stamps that I need. Oh, it'd be good if I could open my stamp pad. There we go. There, I need to open my stamp set because inside my card I did a little bit of stamping. And I use this rose, this other rose stamp, so this one. Again, it could still be a peony, it's got that sort of stamens in the middle, I don't know. And then I've lost my, here's my piece of card to go in the middle, there we go. So again in Flirty Flamingo, just stamp this in the corner. And then coming with the two-leaf stamp this time. Stamp off, and just one going up, stamp off, and one going to the side. Couldn't be any simpler, but it's a beautiful card. Oh, I didn't stamp that one properly. Let's go over it again. Oh, there we are, good. That's the beauty of photopolymer stamps, you can place it back over quite easily. Right, okay, so we're nearly there. We're just going to glue these pieces together. There we go. So let's get rid of my scrap paper. Oh, and we'll do that later. I was going to say we've got to stick the thank you on. Right, let's get my Tombow glue. And I just have it in a little pot upside down so it's always ready to come out. Hopefully, I haven't tested it today, so I hope it's going to play ball. So first of all, we need the black panel. Oh, perfect. There we go. There we go. Stampin' Up is still having problems with Tombow, actually, getting this glue into the UK. I do have some spare. I have a little glue shop, so I do have some spares. So if anyone watching is in need of Tombow, I do have a few to sell. And I also have, someone was asking me at our craft weekend, and I can't remember who it was now, about fast fuse. I do have a few fast fuse still. Especially refills. I've got quite a lot of refills. I think I've got 2 original fast fuse as well, so if you're interested, I'd just be selling at the normal catalogue price. So if you're interested in those, do get in touch. Also, very soon I will be publishing on my blog my 2-for-1 sale. I've got a whole load of retired stuff that I'm going to be putting on my blog and saying that you can choose one, and if you buy one you get another one free. So obviously the cheapest one would come free, but you could choose any that you like. Right, I've got a little bit of Tombow already on my dish here because I was playing earlier. So what I'm going to do is use my cocktail stick to just spread some glue on here, so it's kind of like using the side of the cocktail stick. You could do little tiny dobs of Tombow. I prefer to do this. You don't need to get absolutely every little bit, but quite a lot of the loops and the bumps you need to get, otherwise they might stand up proud from your card. and it's pretty difficult to put glue on after you've stuck most of it down, so try and do your gluing properly before you glue it down. That should do though. And then that's just going to plonk in the middle here. So this is just cut from our Thank You die, which just comes on its own. It's a standalone die, but it's a really lovely, useful one. I think it's a lovely big one. Don't need much else on a card with that. You know, you could just die cut and plonk it on a card and it would be it. There we go. That's our card finished. And then just to glue this bit inside. So nice and easy, as you know, that's my style. I don't do anything terribly complicated, although I have got a very complicated project coming from you, something that we made at our team retreat, and I have finished it, and I'm going to record some videos to show how to make it, and it's going to take me about 5 videos, I reckon, because it is so complicated. But it's very pretty, so you won't want to miss that. So do make sure you subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss any of mine. And now I've got a spot on there. Where did that come from? Right, okay, so I might now put, if I have a problem with that, I might well put some gemstones on there just to cover those bits up. But that's my card. I've got 3 here. I've got a whole pile of others ready to send out to all my customers. Thank you for everybody who shopped with me in September. You will be receiving one of these cards if you haven't already, or possibly this. I've got, like I said, I had 2 cards that I sent out for this month, so you might get the other one. But anyway, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. I will be back with lots more projects and some Christmas things as well, so don't forget to watch out for those, and have a great day. Bye.